I don't want to go back to a job anymore, so I will really set up my own company, and this time I'm not going to give up. So and I felt that the only thing I know really is software. So I set up an internet applications company. So I came to India, hired a few people in Noida, and went back to UK, set up a sales office in UK. The idea was that we would win orders from Europe and do the development from India, because a lot of competent people here, and also of course the price arbitrage. So it was a good idea. In the first year we grew to about 80 people, and my first year sales was 8 crores, about £1 million sterling, and everything was good. We had lots of customers, people who were experienced, and also profitable company in year one. And then before we could expand, the dot-com boom bust. So all the customers who were my customers, suddenly they were almost all of them were out of business. So nobody was spending money on internet apps anymore. A lot of my customers did not pay. So suddenly what was very exciting and very good became like a big problem. So there were so many people who did not pay us that we were not able to pay salaries also in time in India. So it became that bad. So then I thought we need to perhaps change the company, the business model, because internet applications are dead. So I saw that mobile was happening. Mobile was just beginning to happen. So we decided that we will become a wireless applications company. So instead of internet apps, we started writing wireless apps. So again, once again, it became a reasonable business, because wireless was a good space. We were early entrant, and the business started doing quite well. So we were now revenuing some 20 odd crores, and everything was set. But before we could expand again, then 9/11 happened. When 9/11 happened, the UK economy died as a consequence of sympathy with the US. So people cut their IT budgets. So once again, we were not getting any orders because nobody was spending on IT. So my internet to wireless mutation was failing. So I went to VCs that why don't I raise money? I thought to myself that if I have money, I can at least scale and overcome this difficult period. So when I went to VCs, none of the VCs gave me money. They said, Vish, who are you? You are as good as your last sale, because all you have is a software business, and basically every month you have to find a new customer. So you have no intellectual property. If you had any product, then we could have possibly given you money. So for the first time in my career, it dawned on me that I am in a pure services business and I have nothing as technology or as a product. So I decided that I will build a product. Now what product to build? Because Indian companies don't build products as such. Generally we are the back office of the world. So as luck would have it, one day when I was walking on the road, I bumped into one guy. This was my first boss from Germany. So I was on the phone. Look at how destiny unfolds. I was not even planning to meet him. He did not even know that I was in London. So I am walking on the road and I banged into a person. So he was on the phone, I was on the phone. So he looked down, I looked up, tall guy, short guy, and then I said, Chris. He said, Vish. So it's like long lost brothers meeting. And then I said to him that, what are you doing? He said, I run a SMS company. I said, what is SMS? So he tried to explain to me that SMS is, you send SMSs. Now of course SMSs are so popular. So I told him, let's have some beer, because Germans love beer. So we went and had some beer, and I told him that I run a software company. So if ever you want some software developed, please call us. Can I have your attention? Yeah. So when a few days later he called me saying that I thought he's now going to give me an order. But actually the reason for his call was that he said, Vish, I am in trouble. I said, I was expecting an order from you and you are in trouble. Your business was going so well. You were running SMS for MTV and so on. You were meeting the corporate headquarters of MTV in London. What happened? He said, I've discovered that the money which is in my business is Serbian mafia money. So I can't IPO. Now imagine somebody who has raised capital. This is again, the color of capital is important. So whenever you raise money, you need to really be sure what kind of capital you are raising, because ultimately in diligence, all those questions will be asked. So he realized that his capital was from mafia, or the Serbian mafia. So he said, I'm going to shut down my company, and I have an idea. You are looking for a product, so why don't we build a product together? So now Chris has 7 patents to his name. So when I met him, he told me he eventually actually became the CEO of a Siemens company, and he also built the first PDA for Siemens, the organizer, before the mobile phones happened. So he was a very successful CEO before he became entrepreneur himself. So when then he said, I'll come to India, we will work together with your team. And so Chris came to India, and he taught my team how to build a SMS product. So we built the SMS product, and I told Chris, why don't you become the CEO of the company? I will be the CTO. He said, no, you be the CEO. So because between friends, it did not matter, but he was my boss. So, but entrepreneurs don't care about job titles anyway. So he said, no, I will be the CTO because I'm a technology guy. So we were debating all these kind of things. Then one day he got a call from his wife that if you don't come back to Germany, I will divorce you. So he went back saying, I'll be back in 2 weeks, but he never came back because his wife never let him come back. But at least he gave us the product. Now we as a company had a product. So I went back to VCs, please give me money, now I have product. So VC said product by itself is not good enough. You need to have customers. So prove that you can sell the product. This product has demand. So but by this time my money was running out. I could not even feed my family. So I thought, let me shut down the UK sales office and instead hire somebody in India in sales. So I came to India, hired first salesperson in India, and then he got us 1 customer, second customer happened very quickly, and slowly we had 7-8 customers. I mean, in about 6 odd months it took, but we had 7 customers, 8 customers. So I went to VCs again. Now we have customers, we have product, give us money. So VC said, your story is very confusing, because first you were a consulting company, then you were an internet app company, then you were a wireless app company, now you are claiming to be a product company. So if you have a clean company, then we'll give you money. So I shut down of the previous company, opened a new company which is now called ValueFirst in October 2003, and I transferred the 14 people who were left, because I was continuously reducing my people from 150 people. We had come down to 14 people. So these 14 people who built the product of SMS, I transferred into ValueFirst, and ValueFirst was officially born in October 2003. And when ValueFirst happened, then I went, by that time we got some more orders and we became profitable. So then I did not need to go to VCs to raise money. So in my year 1 of sales, we did 84 lakhs of sales. Then we did in year 2, 2.7 crores. Then we did 7 crores. Then we did 15 crores. Then we did 22 crores. When we got to 22 crores of sales, then VCs started coming to us. And then 3 VCs decided to give us money at the same time. So we chose one VC, and this was a company called, a fund called NEA, New Enterprise Associates. So they gave us $6 million. So now we were a profitable company. We had $6 million in the bank. So what do you do with the money? So I looked around and I saw there was one company which was our competitor. So basically we were number 2 company in SMS. The number 1 company in India was a company called Cellnext, which belonged to Escorts Group. So Escorts, they were running a mobile operator called Escotel. So it was a subsidiary of Escotel. So we decided to buy that company. So because we had the money. So we made our first acquisition, and after that acquisition, suddenly we felt on the top of the world that we can even acquire companies, because until now we were busy running our own business, which itself was hard. But after acquiring a company, the confidence of the company, not only mine, but all the people who worked in the company, went manifold. So after that, we acquired 5 more companies and scaled the business. And then we raised one more round of funding, when again we got 6 VCs who were willing to give us money. So we raised $15 million. And then last round, the company was valued at 1,000 crores. So currently we stand at 1,000 crores of valuation, and we were planning our IPO. However, now story doesn't end here. The IPO part which we were planning, it was due this year, but last year the Indian regulator TRAI changed the regulation, and as a consequence the SMS pricing changed, and our input cost is SMS for whatever lot of what we do. So because of that the market shrunk. People stopped buying SMS as a medium because SMS became so expensive. One of our large customers was Google. Even Google could not afford to buy SMS anymore from us. So they shut down their service, which was a SMS search, SMS channels. So suddenly the market shrunk, and now we are faced with a problem that the market size was 1,200 crore SMSs a month. We were the market leader with 400 crore SMSs a month. Now the market became 400 crore and we became 80 crore. So we shrunk more than the market. So what do you do in these circumstances when you are also promising IPO, which is on the horizon and so on, and you have raised money like this? So then we decided to change the company. And once again, we are in the process of transformation. And we are now becoming digital media. We have acquired a couple of companies on the digital side so that we got competence. So we are now trying to become India's leading internet advertising company. So it's a journey which is still in the making. We have not IPO'd, but I think it's definitely shifted by a year or so. So whilst this is the story, but the most important message is something which I want to share now. So what had happened was that when I was living in India, because my family continued to live in the UK, they did not move. So I was living alone. I had a lot of spare time in the evenings, nights, because no family. So I would come back from work, and then I became a philosopher again in those moments. So whilst I was running a business, I was also once again back to my old philosophical quest, and I read lots of books. One of the books I read was a book called Conversations with God. Yeah, you've heard of it. So this is written by a author called Neil Donald Walsh. So I liked the book so much that I registered on his website. And one day I got a newsletter saying that Neil was coming to London to do a 3-day workshop. So I decided that I should attend this workshop. So when I had to go meet my family, I booked my trip accordingly. So I ended up meeting Neil, now the author who claims to have a dialogue with God. So now I'm with Neil, 40 other students, participants, all different age groups. And in the book, Neil had written that whatever you dream will come true, always comes true. So that's one of the chapters or one of the paragraphs in his book. So people asked Neil, can you please explain this? So Neil started talking about the 3 steps. So Neil said that there are 3 things if you do, it will always come true. God has told me. So I will share those 3 steps, because when he told me those 3 steps, I was reminded of my college days where I was doing those 3 steps unknowingly in college. So the first step, as per Neil, is dream the dream. Now most of us do that because everyone has a dream. And the second step, as per Neil, is share your dream with as many people as you can. Now this is where things start going wrong. Many of us don't share nazar lag jayegi, or what if I fail, then people will laugh at me, so don't share. But Neil said the step number 2 is share with everyone you can. And the third step, as per Neil, is believe that whatever you have dreamt has already happened. Meaning there is not an iota of doubt in the occurrence of your dream. Basically you are already imagining that it has happened. So when he was sharing all this, I was reminded 20 years ago when I was in my college, in my masters in MCA. So in my first semester I told my friends I'm going to top. So it was just a dream, and whoever I would meet I would say I will top, and so on. And then I topped first semester. Second semester some people said that no, you can't top because I'm going to top this time. And I would say no, you can't top because I have already topped. So I was using the Neil language unknowingly. So second semester I also topped. Third semester same thing happened, more resistance from people, but I would say I know I have topped. So all semesters I topped. Not only all semesters, all subjects, all semesters I topped. And this was happening only because I was applying this secret unknowingly. So when Neil explained me and it dawned on me, I was like completely taken aback that something which I was doing unknowingly was so powerful. And then at the end of the workshop, Neil said, why don't you, all to all the 40 participants, that share your dream right now with all the 40 people, with each other in the workshop. So I didn't know what to share at that time. Suddenly when somebody asked you a question, I could not really answer, but my wife was pregnant at that time. And my younger brother's wife was pregnant in India. And the two deliveries were about 3.5 weeks apart. So I said to the 40 strangers that I want my wife and my younger brother's wife to deliver on the same day. This is my dream. Some funny dream, but I shared it like that. And then I had to believe in it because Neil said, you believe, and then that it has happened. So my younger brother's wife was due on a certain date, and she delivered early. So I thought, oh my God, for a minute. But then I thought, actually, it is the whole day is left. My wife will also deliver today. And me and my wife were shopping at that time in London somewhere. So I told my wife, let's go home. You have to deliver a baby today. She said, what are you talking? It's like 4 weeks away. And then we went home. We went home, and then she said, I'm not feeling well. Can you feed the older children? Because I had 2 children already. This was our 3rd child. So I cooked food and fed the children, and then after some time she said that I think we need to go to the hospital. So we went to the hospital, and it is not possible that in a UK hospital they were paging for the doctor and doctor was not showing up. I mean, a gynecologist was not showing up. So some junior doctor came, and he was so junior that looking at him, I completely started worrying because his hands were shaking. Maybe it was his day 1 at job. So he came and measured the pulse of my wife, and I said, I need to give you a drip. So he put my wife on some drip, which was to be given in some 6 hours. But he was so clumsy that that whole medicine, that whole liquid went into my wife's body in 15 minutes. Because of that, my wife went into labor, and half an hour later, baby boy born. So it happened, and now I know it as a secret, so I keep trying it all the time. So I'll share one more incident. This is very funny. So this is an Air Deccan flight. This is before Kingfisher bought Air Deccan. So I was boarding. I was ready to board. I was sitting reading a book. So I was reading this book, and everybody was boarding, and there was one woman, in a very pretty woman in a sari. And I used to live between India and England, so I was caught between the two cultures. This sari caught my attention, and this woman who was such a pretty woman. So I decided in my head that I wanted to sit next to her. But how do you sit next to her? Because she was in a queue, and Air Deccan did not have seat numbers. It was first come, first served. So I did the 3 steps in my head. Step number 1, step number 2, and 3 in my head. And then when the flight boarded, I boarded last. Only 1 seat vacant on the flight next to her. So I can manifest it anytime. And now, of course, in my introduction, they mentioned that I read quantum physics and spirituality. I can actually prove all of this through even science. Because fundamentally, everything is energy. Even our dreams, thoughts, whatever is going on in our head is energy. And energy has one basic principle, that it meets with resonance. Basically, resonance here is the fructification of your dream into reality. So, but that's a longer chapter, but that is the big secret which I have learned, and I'm applying it daily in my business life, in personal life. And so that is my story, with a special secret thrown in for success. And any questions? I think I've shared it as a monologue, but the reason I did it like this was, or the first session was so interactive when Manoj was right in the middle of you. So I would like that if you have questions, I would be very happy to answer them. Anybody?
Sir, I want you to repeat all 3 steps.
Okay. First step is dream. The second step is share your dream with as many people as you can.
Okay.
And the third step is believe that whatever you had dreamt has already happened. So any questions about the business part, about raising money, for example, there was a question. So whatever Manoj said, I would like to add one more thing, that if you have a business idea and you want to raise money, although India, it is still a very nascent industry in terms of VCs and angels, but if you want seed money, there are a lot of angel networks already in operation in India. So there is Mumbai Angels, there is Global Super Accelerator Fund. So all these people give seed money for your idea to take shape. And not only they give money, they also offer mentorship. So they would even lend some of these. They offer also leadership skills which your business at early stage may not have. So that is a very legitimate way also to seek seed capital. Any other question? So okay, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this story. And if you do have questions, I will leave my email address. So you are happy. I will be really happy to respond over email. Thank you.